Well, hi again, everyone, and welcome into another edition of In the Paint. My name is Andy Bullbarch with AM 930 WEOL and 100.3 FM. Marissa McNeese will join me again next week when we get into the brand new year. Happy holidays to all of you out there tuning in and watching this today, and we hope that all of you have a healthy and prosperous new year as well. We'll take a look at what went down this past week and weekend in Lorain County and beyond on the hardwood, and we'll also preview the week ahead. Conference play will take a bit of a backseat as we have a lot of tournament action coming up over the next few days as well. In a few moments, we will name our first Federal Savings of Lorain Team of the Week on the boys' side and on the girls' side, and also take a look at the WEOL broadcast schedule. Plenty of games coming your way over the next few days as well. Well, some really terrific performances this week on the boys' side and on the girls' side. We mentioned some tournament action already went down this past weekend. Let's take a look at some of the games of the week. And boy, on the boys' side, I had a chance to call that Firelands and Amherst game on Monday night over in Firelands. What a ball game. Firelands ran off their 7th straight victory. They erased an 11-point deficit to come away with a 66-62 win over Amherst. That was quite the game. Big man Jacob Schmitz turned in a double-double in that contest, 19 points to go along with 11 rebounds. And while we're on the topic of some pretty big performances for the Oberlin Phoenix, an outstanding performance by Aaron Hopkins. He was named the Cuyahoga Heights Tournament MVP, scored 26 points, pulled down 10 rebounds in the championship game over Cuyahoga Heights. So those were two of the better individual performances on the boys' side. And there were some other games that went down as well. Lorain came away with a really nice victory over Maple Heights on the road, winning 57-51. And how about the Elyria Pioneers? They snapped the losing streak with a 70-54 win over Euclid at the end of last week. Taking a look at the girls' side. Boy, Amherst dealt Firelands their first loss of the season on Monday night. 55-41 was the final score in that one. A really nice game turned in by Faith Lewis. She had 23 points. Amaya Staten turned in a double-double, 15 points, cleaned the glass with 16 rebounds as well. A nice double-double in that win for Amherst. They went 1-1 last week. And then a nice win for Elyria Catholic over St. Vincent St. Mary. They were able to pull off the win down at Garfield Heights, the holiday tournament down there. Allie Winnan led the way with 16 points in that contest. And then Open Door, they won their Christmas Classic tournament and a really nice tournament along the way as well for Emily McLean. 36 points rather in the first game and then 27 points in the second game. They won the title game in a 52-26 lopsided contest. So those are some of the bigger individual and team performances of the week on both the boys and on the girls' side. And now it's time for us to name our first Federal Savings of Lorain Teams of the Week. We alluded to this a little bit earlier, but on the boys' side, the Oberlin Phoenix captured the Cuyahoga Heights tournament title as they were able to pull off a couple of wins. They defeated both Cardinal and Cuyahoga Heights. Boy, Kurt Russell's team now is just on a roll. They've really kind of caught fire, and they've won 5 in a row at this point. They're going to be off for a little while, though. They don't play again until next Friday when they return to Lorain County League action, and they take on Keystone. So congratulations to the Oberlin Phoenix boys for being named our first Federal Savings of Lorain Team of the Week. And on the girls' side, I feel like you could pick out the Elyria Catholic girls almost every single week, but we're going to pick them out especially this week because they came away with a couple of victories. Their only loss this season is to Laurel, top-ranked team in the state at Division II, and that's the only blemish on the Panthers' record so far. They defeated Fairview this week, 52-23, and then followed that up on Sunday with the aforementioned victory over Akron St. Vincent St. Mary with a final score of 56-31. They will be in action again on January 2nd when they go across town to take on Gilmore Academy. Well, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend. Lots of tournament basketball, as you might expect. As we stated at the very beginning of today's edition of In the Paint, you won't see a whole lot of conference action again until the end of next week once we get back to action at the very beginning of the 2020 calendar year. So for our broadcast schedule on WEOL, we will be at the Wellington Holiday Tournament on Friday and again on Saturday. On Friday, the matchups feature 4 teams. The very first one will be Amherst taking on Open Door, and the second matchup will feature the hosts, the Wellington Dukes, taking on Brooklyn. The consolation game at 4 o'clock on Saturday, championship game at 6 o'clock. That's not the only tournament in town this weekend either. The Elyria Catholic Holiday Tournament is all day Saturday. They've got 4 games. WEOL will be there for 3 of those 4 games beginning at high noon on Saturday, with Brookside taking on Cornerstone Christian. At 2 o'clock on Saturday, Midview will take on Northwestern. And the nightcap, the Elyria Catholic Panthers will take on Lakewood. That comes your way. A tip time scheduled for 6 o'clock. And if that's not enough, on Monday, we have the Elyria-Lorraine game coming your way on Monday night. That one should be a lot of fun. Our next girls broadcast won't come your way until next Saturday, January 4th, when Avon Lake hosts Amherst. So that's going to wrap things up for today's edition of In the Paint. We'll be doing this on a weekly basis. Next week, Marissa McNeese will join me again, and we'll have a ton of fun talking about hardcore hoops on Lorain County hardwood and beyond. What could be more fun than that in the new year as well? So that'll wrap things up on today's edition of In the Paint. Our thanks to all of you for joining us today. We hope that all of you have a terrific new year, and we'll talk to all of you again next week.